Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I want to talk to you tonight about the unseen law that governs our prosperity. The invisible current that moves when faith meets the spoken word. We live in a world where money is often chased, feared, or misunderstood. But I want to reveal to you a higher truth: money is not your master, it is your servant, and it responds to the vibration of your words and thoughts. Just as Florence Scovel Shinn taught that your word is your wand, so too is this affirmation a key to open the gates of abundance. When you declare, "Money flows to me easily," you are aligning yourself with divine supply, removing the resistance that blocks your good, and commanding unseen channels to open. Tonight, we are not here to beg, strive, or struggle. We are here to speak into existence the life of ease, flow, and provision that already belongs to you by right of consciousness. The power of spoken words to attract money and opportunities is one of the most misunderstood yet transformative principles when it comes to abundance and success. Words are not simply sounds, they are carriers of energy, commands to the universe, and signals to your subconscious mind. Florence Scovel Shinn often said, "Your word is your wand," meaning every word you speak casts a spell over your life, creating conditions, drawing circumstances, and shaping your reality. When you declare wealth and opportunity with conviction, you are programming your mind and environment to respond accordingly. Spoken words have a vibration, and this vibration carries intention. Think of a seed being planted in fertile soil. Your words are those seeds, and your mind is the soil. Each affirmation, each statement, begins to root itself deeply and attract to you the exact conditions you are affirming. When you say, "Money flows to me easily," you are not only expressing a desire, but issuing a command that aligns your inner world with external opportunities. Your subconscious, which controls 95% of your behavior, does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It simply takes instructions and works tirelessly to fulfill them. This is why idle talk, self-doubt, and negative words can be so destructive. They are like planting weeds instead of flowers. People often underestimate the power of repetition, but repetition is what transforms affirmations into beliefs. The first time you speak a word of wealth, it may feel like wishful thinking, but as you continue to say it with faith, your mind accepts it as truth, and your actions begin to align with it. You will notice yourself becoming more alert to opportunities, more confident in decisions, more willing to take steps that invite prosperity. Opportunities that once seemed invisible start to become obvious because your perception has been sharpened by your words. Imagine walking into a room and declaring, "I am a magnet for wealth and success." The energy shifts, your posture changes, and others begin to respond to that vibration. Words do not just work internally. They create an external resonance that others can feel. Investors, clients, partners, and supporters are naturally drawn to confidence and certainty, and that comes from the language you use. Even ancient texts and philosophies teach the power of the tongue, emphasizing that life and death are in the power of words. When you choose words of abundance, you speak life into your finances, health, and relationships. It's important to understand that spoken words are not about begging or hoping, they are about commanding and aligning. There is no pleading energy here. There is only the certainty that as you speak, it is done. This is why affirmations like, "I always have more than enough," or "Opportunities chase me down," are so powerful because they leave no room for doubt. They imprint a sense of inevitability about your success. The tone of your words matters just as much as the words themselves. Saying, "I think money might come," has no force compared to, "Money is always finding me." The energy, the certainty, creates momentum. Spoken words also bypass procrastination and fear because they force your brain to focus on possibilities instead of limitations. Your brain is a goal-seeking mechanism. Once you give it a clear directive through speech, it starts scanning your environment for ways to fulfill it. You might overhear a conversation, meet someone unexpectedly, or have an idea that seems to come out of nowhere, but it's your spoken words activating your awareness and drawing these things to you. The more specific you are, the clearer the target becomes. For example, instead of saying, "I want more money," saying, "I earn $10 a month with ease," gives your mind and actions a precise aim. Spoken words also help dissolve limiting beliefs, because every time you declare something greater than your current reality, you challenge the old story. You are rewriting the script, and over time, the old limiting narrative loses its power. Words are like water dripping on stone. Consistent application reshapes even the hardest beliefs. Another key aspect is emotion. Words without feeling are hollow, but words spoken with passion, conviction, and gratitude send out a frequency that multiplies their effect. When you combine strong words with a sense of joy and certainty, you accelerate the manifestation process. Opportunities that were delayed start arriving faster because the vibration you are sending is stronger and clearer. Speaking words of wealth and opportunity also builds resilience. When challenges come, your language keeps you grounded and focused. Instead of saying, "I'm broke," or "things never work for me," your consistent language becomes, "This is temporary. Money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways." That shift keeps your energy open to solutions instead of dwelling on problems. It's important to remember that the universe responds to clarity and confidence. If your words are unsure, your results will be unsure. If your words are bold, your results will reflect that boldness. Every fortune ever created began as an idea, and every idea was spoken, shared, or declared. Even visionaries and leaders throughout history have known this truth. They spoke of things long before they existed, and those words became blueprints for their reality. The more you speak wealth, the more your actions and thoughts align, and the more money and opportunity feel like a natural part of your experience rather than something elusive. Money as a servant, not a master, is one of the most important shifts in mindset anyone can make when seeking to create true financial freedom and abundance in life. The reason many people struggle with money is because they unknowingly put it on a pedestal, seeing it as something to be chased, feared, or even worship, rather than understanding it as a tool, a means to an end, something that is meant to serve them rather than control them. When you believe that money is in charge, you become reactive and anxious, constantly trying to earn more, save more, or hold onto it tightly, but this very fear and tension repel the flow of wealth. On the other hand, when you see money as your servant, you shift into a position of authority and calm confidence. Money is energy, neutral in nature, and it will obey the commands you give it, consciously or unconsciously. If your words and beliefs say, "I never have enough," that is the instruction money receives, and it will continue to seem scarce. If your language says, "Money works for me, money flows to me, and money serves my purpose," then it begins to circulate and multiply to fulfill your needs and desires. This is why affirmations are powerful, because they retrain the mind to issue new commands. Think about the great innovators and leaders. They do not chase money, they set a vision, and money comes as a result of that vision. They understand that money is a byproduct of value, creativity, and service, not the master they must bow to. Imagine a skilled craftsman with a set of tools. The tools themselves hold no power until the craftsman decides how to use them. Similarly, money is a tool. It sits idle until you direct it with purpose. When you take the attitude of a master, you tell your money where to go, what to do, and how to grow. You budget intentionally, you invest with wisdom, and you circulate money confidently knowing it will return multiplied. Fear of loss or shortage diminishes because you trust the flow, and trust invites more. The servant mindset also removes emotional stress. When you treat money as a master, every financial decision feels heavy because you are afraid of making mistakes or losing it. But when you see money as a servant, you understand that you are the one in charge. Even if it goes, more can and will come because you create the commands. This is why gratitude plays such an important role. Being grateful for money, no matter how much or little, shows that you are comfortable in the role of authority. Gratitude multiplies what you already have because it signals abundance consciousness. Another key part of this mindset is detachment. Masters are not ruled by fear of losing their servants. They know that resources can be replaced, reallocated, or grown. When you are detached, you are willing to spend when needed, invest when the opportunity is right, and give generously without fear. This openness creates circulation, and circulation is what keeps money moving. Stagnant money or hoarded money often loses value, but money that is directed with confidence grows and returns. Think of water. If it is stagnant, it becomes stale, but when it flows, it nourishes everything it touches. Money is the same. When you use it to bless your life and the lives of others, it comes back in ways you cannot always predict. The servant mindset also makes you more creative because you are no longer limited by fear. When you are not under money's control, you can take calculated risks, learn new skills, start ventures, and attract partners and opportunities that expand your resources. People and ideas flow toward those who are confident and abundant, not those who are anxious and desperate. Even in spiritual teachings, money is seen as a tool, a channel for good, not something to worship. Florence Scovel Shinn spoke of divine supply and how the universe responds to faith-filled words. When you speak as if you are in command, saying, "Money serves me to fulfill my destiny," you are claiming your authority in alignment with divine law. This changes how you feel about bills, expenses, and investments. Instead of stress, you approach each decision with calm assurance. Each bill becomes a reminder that you have the power to create and circulate wealth. Each opportunity to spend or invest becomes a chance to direct your servant toward greater work. You are no longer intimidated by large numbers because you know they are only symbols, representations of energy that you can attract and manage. Over time, this mindset builds resilience. Even when challenges come, you are not thrown off course because you know that money comes and goes, but you remain the master. Your confidence grows, your habits become stronger, and you realize that wealth is not about luck, but about perspective and control. When you truly believe money is your servant, you no longer fear losing it, you no longer hesitate to use it, and you no longer doubt your ability to attract it, because you know that your thoughts, words, and actions hold the authority to call it forth whenever it is needed. Aligning with divine supply through faith and affirmations is the foundation of effortless abundance and the key to creating a life where money, opportunities, and resources flow without struggle. Divine supply is the concept that there is an unlimited source of good available to everyone, a source that is never depleted, never scarce, and always responsive to the state of your mind and the power of your words. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that everything begins in the unseen before it manifests in the physical, and that faith combined with spoken words can move circumstances and open doors that logic alone cannot. When you align yourself with divine supply, you are choosing to believe that you are always provided for, that the universe is friendly to your desires, and that every need is already met in the invisible before it appears in your hand. Faith is the activator of this supply because it removes doubt and fear. Without faith, words are hollow, they are empty statements without energy. But when you speak affirmations with faith, you are speaking as if it is already done, and that conviction gives your words power. Faith transforms your affirmations from mere repetition into commands that shape your reality. Saying, "Money flows to me easily," in fear has no power. But saying it with certainty and gratitude ignites a chain of events that bring money through expected and unexpected channels. This is why affirmations are not about begging or hoping. They are about aligning your consciousness with the truth that supply is infinite. Every time you affirm abundance, you are tuning your inner frequency to match the vibration of wealth. Your mind becomes a receiver, like a radio picking up a signal. If you are tuned to scarcity, you cannot receive abundance. But when you adjust your inner station through affirmations and faith, you begin to notice resources, ideas, and opportunities that were invisible before. Divine supply also works best when there is gratitude and trust. Gratitude is the acknowledgement of what you have and a sign of faith in what is coming. Trust is letting go of the how and when, focusing instead on the certainty that it is done. This alignment removes stress and worry because you are no longer trying to force results, you are allowing them. The act of speaking affirmations daily reinforces this trust. The more you say, "I always have more than enough," or "money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways," the more your subconscious accepts it as reality, and your actions begin to align with that belief. You become more confident, more decisive, and more open to taking inspired steps because you believe the support will always be there. Another aspect of aligning with divine supply is understanding that your words are creative forces. Every word you speak is a request to the universe. If you constantly say, "I can't afford this," or "I never have enough," those words act as orders to limit your experience. But when you replace those words with, "I am provided for," and "everything I need comes to me at the right time," you are giving permission for greater supply to enter. Your language sets the boundaries of your abundance. People often think that money only comes through work or business, but when you align with divine supply, you realize that opportunities can come from any direction. A gift, a chance meeting, a sudden idea, or an unexpected offer can all be channels of supply. But you only notice them when your mind is trained to expect good. Affirmations sharpen your perception so you see opportunities where others see none. Faith builds resilience because even when there are delays or challenges, you hold steady knowing that the supply is never cut off. There may be pauses, but never an end. This state of faith-filled expectancy keeps your energy high and your focus clear. The more you practice this alignment, the less you are shaken by temporary lack or external conditions because you know that conditions are only temporary reflections of past beliefs. Affirmations spoken with faith create new conditions. It's also important to infuse your affirmations with feeling. Words alone are not enough. Emotion gives them life. When you affirm wealth with joy, gratitude, and certainty, the energy you release is much stronger. It's like watering a seed with sunlight and nourishment. It grows faster and stronger. Each word carries a vibration, and when that vibration is backed by belief and feeling, it becomes magnetic. Aligning with divine supply also means letting go of the old story of struggle. You can't affirm abundance while clinging to fear or resentment about the past. Forgiveness, letting go, and releasing old money wounds clear the channel for new supply to enter. The universe responds to a clear, open vessel. Each affirmation you speak is clearing the fog and opening the path for flow. With consistent practice, aligning with divine supply becomes natural. It stops feeling like an effort and starts feeling like your default state. You no longer wonder if you will have enough because you know the supply is infinite and always meeting you at the level of your belief. Your speech becomes confident. Your actions become bolder, and money, opportunities, and resources begin to flow into your life with a sense of ease and inevitability. Removing resistance and mental blocks around abundance is a critical step in allowing money and opportunities to flow into your life freely. Many people do not realize that it is not the lack of opportunity or resources that holds them back but the invisible walls built by their own beliefs, fears, and doubts. Resistance is created when your thoughts, feelings, and words are not aligned with the wealth you desire. You may say, "I want more money," but deep down you might feel undeserving or believe that money is hard to come by. These hidden beliefs send mixed signals, and the result is delay, struggle, or stagnation. The mind is powerful, and whatever it believes, it creates. If you carry ideas such as, "Rich people are greedy," "Money changes people," or "I have to work painfully hard to earn anything," You are setting up barriers that block the very thing you are asking for. Removing these mental blocks requires awareness, honesty, and the willingness to change your inner dialogue. It begins with identifying the stories you have been told about money since childhood. Perhaps you grew up hearing phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "We can't afford that." These words take root and become subconscious programs, operating silently but powerfully. The first step to freedom is bringing these beliefs to the surface and questioning them. Ask yourself, is this belief serving me? Is it true for everyone? Is there another way to see it? By challenging these outdated scripts, you create space for new, empowering beliefs to form. Another form of resistance comes from fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of judgment, fear of losing what you gain. All of these can freeze your actions and close the door on abundance. To dissolve fear, you must replace it with trust. Trust that there is more than enough. Trust that you are capable. Trust that the universe is supportive. Affirmations play a vital role here because they create new mental grooves. When you repeatedly declare, "I am worthy of wealth," "I trust money to come and stay," or "I release all fear around abundance," you reprogram the subconscious mind. Over time, these statements become truths, and your energy shifts from contraction to expansion. Resistance also appears as guilt or shame. Some people feel guilty about wanting more or ashamed when they receive it. They may think they are taking from someone else, or that having money makes them selfish. But money is not limited, it is energy that circulates. By holding guilt, you push away what could serve you and others. Releasing guilt means understanding that wealth allows you to do more good, help more people, and live more fully. A healthy mindset sees money as a tool for growth and contribution, not something to be ashamed of. Another powerful way to remove resistance is through visualization. The mind responds to images even more strongly than words. When you close your eyes and imagine yourself living in financial ease, paying bills with joy, giving generously, and seeing money come from multiple sources, you begin to shift your identity. You start to feel that abundance is natural and normal, not foreign or out of reach. These mental pictures create emotional responses, and emotions are magnets for experiences. The stronger the feeling of joy, gratitude, and certainty, the faster resistance melts away. Forgiveness is another overlooked key to removing mental blocks. Holding resentment toward others who have money, or anger toward yourself for past mistakes, keeps your energy stuck. Forgive the people, forgive the situations, forgive yourself. Letting go frees the energy that was trapped in negative emotions and opens space for something new to come. Even your language must change because words have power. Phrases like, "I'm broke," "I can't afford this," or "I never have enough," reinforce scarcity. Replacing them with, "I always have more than enough," "Money flows easily," or "I am open to receiving," tells your subconscious a new story. Small shifts in language compound over time and remove subtle resistance that you may not even notice at first. It's also vital to release the need to control everything. Many people block abundance by demanding that money come in a certain way, through a certain job, or at a certain time. But divine supply is limitless, and opportunities can come from unexpected channels. By relaxing your grip and saying, "I am open to receiving from any source," you allow more possibilities to reach you. Patience and openness create flow, while rigidity creates stress. Taking inspired action is another essential part of this process. Removing resistance does not mean doing nothing. It means clearing the inner obstacles so action becomes effortless. When your mind is free of doubt and fear, ideas come easily, and you act on them confidently. The energy behind your action matters more than the action itself. When you act from trust and excitement, opportunities multiply. As these blocks dissolve, you start to notice signs of abundance everywhere. A small gift, a discount, a helpful person, a new idea. These are confirmations that your inner state is changing. The more you acknowledge these signs and feel gratitude, the more you reinforce the flow. Removing resistance is not a one-time event, it is a practice of awareness, release, and realignment. Each time you catch a limiting thought and replace it, each time you speak a word of faith instead of fear, you are loosening the chains that held abundance back. Little by little, the walls crumble, and money and opportunities begin to meet you with less effort, less struggle, and more natural ease. Creating an affirmation loop to keep money flowing effortlessly is about building a constant rhythm of positive, intentional words that become a natural part of your thoughts and actions. A loop means something that repeats itself, feeding into its own power. And when it comes to money, this means your affirmations are not said once and forgotten, but are woven into your daily language, thoughts, and behaviors. When you create this cycle, you train your subconscious mind to expect abundance as a normal state rather than an occasional event. The mind is always listening, and repetition is the key to reprogramming it. Every time you speak words like, "Money flows to me easily," "I am a magnet for wealth," or "Abundance is my birthright," you are reinforcing the neural pathways that tell your brain this is your reality. Over time, these words stop feeling like empty statements and begin to feel natural, like describing the color of the sky or the taste of water. The affirmation loop works because the subconscious cannot resist repetition. It learns through consistency. Just as a song played over and over gets stuck in your head, affirmations, when repeated daily, begin to dominate your inner dialogue. Even when doubts creep in, the loop pushes back, replacing fear with faith and scarcity with confidence. To create this loop effectively, you must make it simple and emotionally charged. Short, clear, and powerful affirmations are best because they are easy to repeat and carry strong meaning. Adding feeling to each repetition amplifies the effect. When you say, "I always have more than enough," say it with a smile, with gratitude, with energy, because emotion is what imprints it deeply into your subconscious. The more you feel the truth of your words, the faster they transform your beliefs. The loop also becomes more powerful when it is reinforced throughout the day. Morning affirmations set the tone, but midday reminders, quiet reflections, and evening repetitions keep the energy alive. You can write them on sticky notes, set phone reminders, record your own voice saying them, or create playlists of affirmations to listen to while you work or relax. Each time you hear or read those words, you strengthen the cycle. This continuous exposure keeps your mind focused on abundance rather than fear. An affirmation loop also works best when combined with visualization. As you repeat your affirmations, see them happening. Picture yourself paying bills easily, receiving unexpected checks, landing profitable deals, or enjoying financial ease. The mind responds strongly to pictures, and when you link images to your words, the impact multiplies. It becomes more than just language, it becomes a mental experience, and the subconscious starts treating it as reality. Another benefit of creating a loop is that it blocks negative self-talk. Scarcity often comes from inner voices saying, "I can't," "I won't," "It's too hard." But when you flood your mind with positive affirmations, those voices are drowned out. The loop does not leave space for fear to take root. Each repetition chips away at old beliefs, replacing them with empowering ones. This is why consistency is so important. Missing a day or saying it once in a while does little, but daily, steady repetition creates momentum. Soon, even when unexpected challenges arise, your first thought will not be fear but confidence, because your loop has trained you to see solutions and expect good outcomes. The affirmation loop also changes your actions because belief drives behavior. When you believe money flows to you, you act in ways that align with that belief. You are more willing to take opportunities, more open to collaborations, more confident in negotiations. This is not magic, it is mindset shaping reality. The loop creates a mental environment where abundance feels normal, and your behavior naturally supports it. Your energy also shifts. People sense confidence and positivity, and those are attractive qualities. Opportunities are drawn to those who carry certainty. Even if people do not consciously know why, they are more likely to trust and work with someone who radiates abundance rather than fear. That energy comes from your loop because you are constantly feeding your mind with empowering words. Another key point is that the loop should evolve. As your mindset grows, your affirmations can become bolder. What once felt too big will one day feel natural. At first, saying, "I earn a 10,000 a month," may seem far away, but after weeks of repetition and growth, it may feel normal, and you may expand it to, "I earn a 50,000 a month." This evolving loop keeps your mind stretching and expanding, preventing stagnation. The loop also helps during times of uncertainty. When things do not seem to go your way, the habit of repeating affirmations keeps you steady. Instead of spiraling into worry, you say, "Money comes to me from expected and unexpected sources," and suddenly, your focus is on solutions rather than problems. The brain cannot dwell on fear and faith at the same time, and the loop ensures faith always has the louder voice. When you integrate this practice into your daily life, it eventually becomes second nature. The words come automatically. You think abundance, speak abundance, and act abundance. The loop is always running, like background music that never stops, and the more it plays, the more your life begins to reflect it. It is not about forcing money to come, but about aligning your inner state so strongly that money has no choice but to find you, because your thoughts, words, and actions are all speaking the same language of wealth. Living in ease and trust that provision is your natural state is the ultimate expression of abundance, because it removes the stress and struggle that so many associate with money and success. When you believe that life is working for you and that you are supported at all times, you release the tension that blocks opportunities and resources from reaching you. This mindset is not about being careless, it is about shifting from fear and control to faith and flow. Trust is powerful because it signals to your mind and to the universe that you are aligned with the idea that there is always enough. It is when people are anxious, doubting, or constantly worrying about the future that they create resistance and close doors. When you truly understand that provision is your natural state, you act from a place of calm certainty, and that energy draws to you the right people, situations, and ideas that match your trust. This kind of living starts with letting go of the belief that you must struggle to survive. Many people are taught that money is hard to earn or that security comes only through endless work and sacrifice, but these beliefs create fear and tension. When you change the narrative to, "I am always provided for," your mind opens to different ways of receiving and creating wealth. Opportunities can come through your job, your business, your creativity, or unexpected sources. But they only become visible when your energy is relaxed and receptive. Living in ease also means you stop forcing outcomes. Instead of pushing, you allow things to unfold. This does not mean doing nothing. It means taking inspired action rather than frantic action. Inspired action is when you move forward with clarity and confidence, trusting that your steps are supported. You do not waste time worrying about what might go wrong, because your faith keeps you focused on what can go right. This shift reduces stress and increases productivity because your energy is not scattered by fear. Trust also makes you more resilient when challenges arise. Instead of panicking, you remind yourself that everything is temporary and that provision is still present even when circumstances seem uncertain. This mindset keeps your emotions steady and your decisions clear. It is the difference between reacting in fear and responding with wisdom. Living in ease requires building rituals that reinforce trust. Daily affirmations like, "I am always supported," "Everything I need is already on its way," and "I trust the flow of life." Train your subconscious to expect provision. Gratitude is another powerful tool because it acknowledges what you already have and creates space for more. When you focus on the good in your life, your mind is conditioned to see more good. This sense of appreciation amplifies the feeling of abundance, making trust more natural. Visualization strengthens this mindset as well. When you picture yourself paying bills easily, traveling where you wish, helping others generously, and having more than enough, your mind treats those images as reality. The more you see it, the more you believe it, and the more your actions align with that belief. Trust also changes your relationship with money. You stop seeing it as scarce and start treating it as a resource that comes and goes, always replenishing when needed. This ease encourages circulation rather than hoarding. You become more willing to invest, spend wisely, and give generously because you know more will come. This openness keeps money flowing rather than stagnant. Living in ease and trust also changes how others perceive you. People are drawn to calm, confident energy, whether in business, friendships, or partnerships. Those who trust life naturally inspire confidence in others. Opportunities often come to those who seem grounded and sure because that energy feels safe and expansive. Fear pushes people away, trust attracts. Another element of this mindset is patience. Trust allows you to wait without anxiety. When you know your needs will be met, you no longer rush or force results. You understand that timing is part of the process and that delays do not mean denial. This patience keeps your stress levels low and your energy high. Faith becomes your foundation. Each step you take feels supported because your inner dialogue says, "I am cared for." Over time, this trust becomes so strong that even when unexpected expenses or challenges arise, you remain steady, knowing there is always a way. Living in ease also means you can enjoy the present. So many people miss life because they are too busy worrying about the future or regretting the past. Trust frees you from that trap. You can savor moments, enjoy what you have, and still be open to more. Your energy is focused, joyful, and light, and this state naturally attracts good things. When you combine trust with consistent affirmations and gratitude, you create a powerful loop that keeps provision steady. It becomes less about chasing money and more about allowing it to come. The stress dissolves because you are no longer asking if you will be okay. You know you already are. Ease becomes your natural state, and money becomes just another expression of the flow of life, something that moves toward you because you expect it and welcome it without fear or doubt. Thanks for watching.